Abaco, Bahamas. This is my story. It began in 1985. I was right out of college with a bachelor's in education and psychology. And I wondered, what's coming next? I was accepted into the Dominican Apostolic Volunteer Program and headed for the island of Abaco. Unfortunately, neither my travel agent nor I knew where Abaco was. With some investigation, we found it was 180 miles off the south coast of Florida. It comprised of Little Abaco to the north, Greater Abaco to the south, with Marsh Harbor being the commercial hub and the Bahamas' third largest city. The first inhabitants were the Lucayans. Then the European settlers, known as Loyalists, fled the American Revolution and arrived in 1783. The Loyalists made wooden boats and did basic farming for a living. In 1973, the Bahamas gained independence from Great Britain and joined the Commonwealth. Boating remained an important part of Abaconian life, not only the boat building, but also a sailing destination. Abaco consists of a 120-mile-long chain of islands made of limestone and protected on the ocean side by the third largest barrier reef in the world. The Keys have green mangoes and white sand beaches. Most of the islands are uninhabited. Abaco Islands are also known as the Out Islands, Family Islands, and Friendly Islands. The 2010 census demographics showed Abaco as having a population of 17,224 people, 8,902 males, 8,332 females, with the median age being 30 years old and 2 months. There were 5,197 reported households in Abaco. The racial demographics consist of Black, white, mixed, Asian, and East Indian peoples. The religious denominations vary, however, the majority are Christian denominations, consisting of Baptists, Catholics, and Anglicans. In addition to boat building, the economy of the Abacos includes exporting lumber, fruit, pearl shells, crawfish, pulpwood, and of course tourism is a major portion of the economy. But back to my story in 1985. I landed on a prop plane at this airport, Marsh Harbor International Airport, where I cleared customs and immigration in these 2 pink buildings. I wasn't quite sure what was going to happen, but it was certainly not what I imagined. My house was this small little red house, which I shared with another teacher, and our students lived in homes that consisted of plywood and galvanized roofs. The neighborhoods were known as the yards, basically the mud and the peas, and they were shanty towns that housed illegal Haitian immigrants. Our school, St. Francis de Sales, was approximately 90 to 95% Haitian students. At the time, the government schools in the Bahamas would not accept the Haitians into their schools, so the majority, if they wanted to go to school, came to our school. Our school consisted of a bunch of individual trailers, which lined 2 paths in the playground. Of that, mine was this small building, and I was one of 3 that had electricity. I taught primary C, which was 3rd grade. During that year, we got very accustomed to things such as school life, morning assembly, academic classroom activities, school assemblies, school celebrations and church functions, and we participated in larger island activities such as sports and music festivals, and also participated in local school activities such as celebrating the 25th anniversary of the school and Junkanoo, a local Bahamian custom. We attended various field trips throughout the island, And in December 1988, tragedy struck our small school. Our church burned down to the ground. Soon afterwards, we went about rebuilding the church. Someone had donated the tent, but forgot to donate the poles. So my job was to find trees, scrape the bark off, so that we could use them as poles to lift the tent. But through a lot of hard work, we were able to do that, and we were able to regain our sense of church. Our families were the most important thing to us on the islands. We spent a lot of time visiting them at their homes. We spent time playing with them, going to the beach with them, visiting the parents. And we also worked hard to get scholarships for students to go to high school and college in the United States. After 30 years, I, along with 11 other people, returned to Abaco. August 3rd through August 10th of this year, we returned back and reunited with our former students. It was a great time to reconnect, and we met up with over 60 students that we had taught 30 years before. As the students gave testimony, some of their statements included, "You guys made us who we are today. Thank you for giving us an education when no one cared about us Haitian kids. My heart is filled with gratitude and joy." That's what it's all about, inspiring others. Thank you so much for coming back home. I always thought about St. Francis de Sales school teachers and the love shown to all and instilled in those who were willing to absorb what was being offered. It was awesome seeing our former principal and teachers. We could never repay them for all they did for us. We who are here today because they believed in us when others counted us out. You guys will always continue to inspire us in every little thing that we do. We thank God for our foundation. Thank you for coming. It was good reconnecting with all of you. We will always appreciate you guys. We love you. We will forever be grateful for the Catholic nuns and Dominican volunteers. Words cannot begin to describe our gratitude. Because of your love and support, we are who we are today. When everyone counted us out, you all encouraged and inspired us to dare to be great. A heartful thanks. On September 1st, 2019, Hurricane Dorian made landfall on Elbow Key in the Abaco Islands at 4:40 p.m. with winds of 185 miles per hour and wind gusts up to 225 miles per hour. Dorian is tied with the 1935 Labor Day hurricane as the strongest land-falling Atlantic hurricane on record. There are reports of major damage throughout the islands, which has been described as catastrophic damage and pure hell. But in the words of Margaret Mead, never believe that a few caring people can't change the world, for indeed, That's all who ever have. In the words of one Abaconian, she stated, "Our hearts bleed to see our community and neighboring island suffer such catastrophe. We lost everything, and some are unaccounted for. We are saddened by the devastation and helplessness of our people, but with hope we shout, forward, upward, onward, and together we shall, along with the help of many, pick up the pieces. When we feel weak, you will be our strength. Together we will restore our community."